All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this match. We are in round 4 on the left-hand side of your screen here at the Star Wars Unlimited Sector Qualifier in Denver. This is going to be Steven. You know what? I think he goes by Steve. This is KTOD Steve. Let's do it, but let's do it the right way.
Steve B. He wants to go by Steve B.
All right.
Or you can go Steve KTOB.
Okay, then we will do that. Let's honor the man's wishes. There we go. Okay, there we go. On the left-hand side of your screen, that is Steve. Let's actually do this the right way.
Do you have dice?
There we go. So there's Steve bringing Luke Data Vault, Luke Green. We've seen people trying to lean into this deck a little bit as kind of the anti-Jango. All right, and then over on the right-hand side of your screen, this is Chris from Colorado Springs on the Jango shenanigans for the day.
Giving you guys a 4-minute time extension.
Thank you.
Okay. Yep, we have not started the timer, guys. So there's our timer for this round. I apologize, my timer's a little off from the main timer this particular round. And I forgot to run a Twitch ad. I'm going to do it real fast right now so we don't have to worry about it again. It's not going to let me. Hang on a minute. Do it here at the beginning of the match. There we go. Okay, guys. You guys on Twitch, it's going to be a long ad. I apologize. Ooh, this is going to be good. I've wanted to see somebody who has invested the time on Luke to kind of mess with that.
If anyone out there, as just like a group and a community, can figure out the best Luke deck, it's probably the KTOD team.
You're convinced these KTOD guys are going to figure it out,
I love their decks.
They
man.
have such a great
stuff
the
that
Discord,
they
the
put
community is
up
amazing.
Is just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I probably only placed in the Cards and Comics Showdown top 8 because I stole Bobby's.
What were you playing?
Oh,
his Jango.
Yeah, I stole his Jango deck. So very thankful for them for that.
My hands have been cramping all day from shuffling.
Oh man, that sucks.
All right, here we go.
All right, let's get underway, ladies and gentlemen, here in round 4 of
cards
Swiss.
with Data Vault.
Mm-hmm. Chris on the button. Steve got to make some resource decisions, and we'll be on our way. All right, here we go. Starting off with the Bazine. I even turned the mat around, and that's still best behaving. Getting rid of an Alliance Dispatcher. Ooh, Steve just has to claim. Still perhaps not the worst unit you could see when you don't have a good turn 1 play.
Yeah.
Steve getting his turn 1 play ripped out of his hand, basically.
Yeah. And one that would allow him to, get a Rebel out, which makes me think he's playing a heavy Rebel package.
Chat's mocking your Hobbit hands again. Just want you to know.
Oh, yeah. My tiny Hobbit hands. Yeah, shoveling 60 cards is not really recommended. Ooh,
there's the Sabine's masterpiece.
Okay.
First one of those we've seen today. All right, there's the infamous Guerrilla Soldier.
He's going to put it on the base. That's all he can
He pretty much has to. Can't afford to lose too much of it. That allows the soldier to stand up. Okay, Steve's going to claim.
Steve claimed and ate some more damage.
And then that looks like 1, 2, 3 more to base. Oh, wrong side. I think he's doing these in 5. Yeah, he's doing them as 5 counts. Those big, heavy metal dice, by the way, courtesy of Metal Fab. We met those guys last night at the meetup. Really cool.
Really nice, yeah.
Yeah. KTOD guys playing with those today. Ooh, I love this.
Nice.
I love this. We've been hearing about this tech card, ladies and gentlemen. This is guarding the wing, or covering the wing, allows him to shield the tie and generate an X-Wing token for a simple 2-resource play. But that shield has the potential to be very impactful because Jango, Jango will struggle to impact those things with those shields. That's what Luke wants to see. We're going to use Luke's game text now.
He's taking it back.
Okay. Apologies. He rethought it.
Yeah. I think he's thinking about playing a card that has an aspect so he can get a Sabine bonus.
Covering the wing?
He's doing it again. I was going to say, he's camped on another one in there. I love it. Another covering the wing coming in here. So 2 X-Wing tokens, and again holding that shield on the Masterpiece. All right. 2 more damage.
I'll go 3 damage to your base.
All right, 3 to base here. Now, quick look at the tie. He doesn't actually control any other colored units yet.
Yeah.
So for the moment, Sabine's tie is technically blank.
Well, Steve's going to claim.
Yeah. Staying on the button here. Chad asking if you can play Luke on the use Luke's ability on the tokens. I'm almost certain that you can.
Why not?
They have.
It just has to be a. It just says a unit. I believe.
Yeah, but they're talking about played. The token units sometimes don't necessarily say played. There's a home 1.
Yes.
Big card for this matchup.
Bright Hope.
Excuse me, Bright Hope. I'm an idiot. I literally said home 1, put home 1, but that is a Bright Hope.
Bright Hope.
I am an idiot. Let's try again. That's the actual card. Operator error, ladies and gentlemen.
3 damage from Bright Hope.
Okay. Chat convinced they can't be shielded. All right. I am skeptical. We'll get a judge ruling later. We are going to shield Bright Hope now with Luke. Jango looks like he's going to deploy. Nope, rethinking
he's thinking
things.
about claiming.
Ah, chat pointing out. Actually, no, the X-Wings are heroism only.
So why couldn't they be shielded?
That's a good question. I thought they had modified that ruling. I know at one point that was correct. You couldn't.
Yeah.
Tokens were considered created, not played. But I could have sworn that they had changed that. Maybe I'm wrong. Ah, okay. That explanation sounds more plausible, that when Luke is face up, it works, but when he's face down, it doesn't.
Okay.
We'll find out.
Yeah,
Chris's action, figuring out what to do here. Going to go ahead and deploy Jango. Going to trade a damaged X-Wing for the IG-2000.
Good trade.
Very good trade.
Ooh.
Okay, smuggle in the DL-44 for a big 5 hit.
To base. Counter. 2 to your base.
He has that Sabine really. Sabine's Masterpiece really well protected right now.
He does. He absolutely does. But he is very much down on health. He's got 16
He's right there,
damage on.
He has the extra 3. Luke's going to come out soon. He's still got
17 on. There we go. I've got it now.
Crafty Smuggler.
Crafty Smuggler. Luke's flip turn is about to come up.
That is a lot of units on the board, both sides, and they are on complete opposite sides right now.
Aha. Thank you. Chat finally clarifying me. They are still created, but they updated ambush and shielded to work on creation. That's where my confusion was.
Ah, okay.
Because originally there were things that should have worked on them that didn't, but now they do.
Yeah.
I was thinking that Luke's game text would work on them, but it does not. Okay. Thank you for the clarification, chat. That's why we keep you guys around.
Ooh, what's he playing for 6?
Rivals Fall.
Rivals Fall.
Yep.
Fantastic card. Exactly what you're supposed to use it for in this type of control, taking out Jango. Now he can't ping, so now he can't play War Juggernaut and ping everything.
Yep.
Like, that's a great play right there.
Going into Luke's flip turn, that is an absolutely...
Can't ask for much
You can't ask for much better play right there.
Minus flipping Luke and putting his lightsaber on.
Yep. Which we won't be seeing the saber this round, but we'll probably be seeing the flip, I have to presume.
No, he's got one more. I think he flips at 7, right?
No, Luke flips on 6.
6?
Yeah, here, I'll show you. Boop. Vader flips on 7.
Vader, there you go.
So that starter deck, Luke comes out on 6, Vader on 7, but
7.
Vader had ramp in that deck, so sometimes you could actually get Vader out ahead of things. I'm excited to see this matchup. Two really good players.
This is a good matchup.
Good players in decks that, like, Steve has been, like, you're playing this leader in this deck specifically to beat this matchup.
Yeah.
So I'm fascinated to see this go off.
And if Steve takes this down, if his deck list gets out there, everybody's going to get it.
Well, and he said several times on their channel. By the way, this is KTOD Steve. If you're not familiar with KTOD and their work on Star Wars Unlimited, definitely go scope them out.
Check them out on
Check
YouTube,
them out. Fabulous
for sure.
work. But he's specifically said he was working on Luke specifically to showcase Chase, and he knew he was going to have to beat this matchup. So I'm excited to see it.
Sneak attack.
Sneak attacking in a War Juggernaut.
1 damage to each of those. Do here, here, here.
I like what Chris does, leaving the sneak attack under the card to
Yeah.
remind himself to defeat it at the end of the round.
Yeah.
2 to your base.
2 to base. This War Jug's going to hit like a train. 1, 2, 3, plus 4. So it's a 7-7 War Jug, or 7-6, I should say.
Tarkentown.
Going to Tarkentown out the Bright Hope.
Smart play.
I'm sure I'll figure it out later.
I think what Chris is hoping is that he flips Luke and he can take Luke out with the War Juggernaut.
I mean, honestly,
And if not, getting 7 to base is in a really strong position.
I mean,
but I think if
he
you're
flips
Steve, you
Luke,
sacrifice
if you
it.
flip, he's flipping Luke here.
2 damage to your base.
Interesting. That's not what he does. Okay. 2 to base there from the Gorilla Soldier. Steve now able to fire off Luke.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage.
Yeah, 7. I had it wrong, or it was actually 8. Getting rid of Bright Hope actually made the War Juggernaut a little smaller.
And he can't trade a unit here because it doesn't help him with the War Juggernaut.
No.
Because Luke would just be damaged.
I'll go 4 to your base and restore 2.
Okay.
Now, because, exactly, with
Yeah.
the Sabine's tie, he can restore a little bit there.
Yep.
10 HP remaining for Chris. Interesting choice by Steve, deciding that the shield Luke would generate, not really the play there, because he has to generate it on another unit.
1 to your base.
1 to base.
And he keeps putting the decision back on Steve.
Yep.
4 to your base.
4 to base.
Gives
I
Sabine
did
a
that wrong
shield.
way. 1 here. There's the 4. Now he hands out the shield again.
7 damage to your base.
Yep. 7
Yeah.
in.
I'm just going to go remove that and go 2 10s. Is that okay?
Yeah.
8 HP remaining for Steve. 6 HP remaining for Chris here.
You're at 19. Playing.
Steve's going to retain the initiative. 2 more coming in. Leaves us with the tie, all tied up at 6 health remaining apiece. That Sabine's tie looms pretty large here going into this round, having initiative with Restore.
I'm trying to think, like, if he has anything that can help him get that War Juggernaut, it needs to be defeated, yeah.
War Jugger's got to go. Yep, he's going to clean that up. You know what would be a really solid pull right here, if Steve, presuming he's got him in the deck?
Well, yeah, what?
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Ooh, yeah. A Kenobi would be nice.
A big blue Sentinel body in that ground arena would be really, really good for Steve right here. One of the odd times you see that Jango deck, one of these Jango decks, not really have good control of the space arena.
I haven't seen Triple Dark Raid, so that's
we
kind
have
of
not.
strange.
We have not yet.
Maybe he just didn't pull it.
Maybe he hadn't seen one. Trying to get a glimpse of what he's got. He's got a Devastator in there. I can't make out. I think it's an IG 2000. I can't quite make out what that card on the far left is.
I think I attack with Luke, give my X-Wing a shield.
Chat saying he probably doesn't have the Kenobi. A Rebel Assault would just end the game if he's sitting on
Yeah,
one.
if he's sitting on one. Okay.
All right.
We're ready on Jango's side, so let's see what we do.
Chris has finished his resources and readying
playing
up. Here we go. 3 for
Fleet
Fleet
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant, and that's 6 to base.
That's 6 to base.
There it is.
Yes, there we go. The Rebel package.
There it is. The Rebel synergy still holding strong
Wow.
here. 4 sets into the game.
I don't play nearly as often.
All right. Well, game 1 going to Luke.
Sorry.
By not telling you I had the Fleet Lieutenant.
All right. So let's get the base healths reset as it's sideboard time here in Denver. Rykian would be a good
Wow.
one. Chad actually pointing out Rykian would be a good one. That would have been a good one.
Riken? Yeah.
Rykian would have been a solid.
In my head, I was just thinking, like, how do you get the extra 2? Fleet Lieutenant's the answer. I was thinking maybe X-Wing, that gives you the 2 experience tokens.
Oh, you mean Wing Leader?
Wing Leader,
Yeah, but again, like Chat's pointing out, that's probably a little too slow, right? Because
Yeah.
you're playing the unit, you're putting the experience tokens, now you're just declaring, okay, this big thing is now probably my next action.
Yeah.
The Fleet Lieutenants, you know, it's interesting. We were talking about command cards earlier. You've seen me. We were playing this earlier this week. I've been working on Wedge, right?
Yeah.
And we've been again going back to the KTOD Discord, deck threads, talking with people, investing in time and figuring out good cards in certain decks and how do you build them. Fleet Lieutenant is kind of one of those cards that some of the Wedge players have gone back to, right? Because it's again, you're playing Rebels, regardless of ground or space. They're still Rebels, and it's a 3/3 ground body in a deck that doesn't traditionally have a lot of ground bodies.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a really, really solid pickup.
It's a very strong common.
Yes.
Man, what do you sideboard?
Without knowing their sideboards, I can't even begin to speculate.
And to be honest, I would have no idea what Steve would have in his sideboard. Like 0.
If you're Chris, I have to wonder if any of the Jango players in the field have latched onto what's that card? There's a new card in JTL that allows you to discard a shield and then damage the unit that was shielded.
Oh yeah.
Piercing shot. That's what it's called.
Shot.
To me, I look at that card and I think that might be the kind of thing that a Jango player might sideboard in.
Yeah.
For this kind of a matchup.
For this kind of
because the shields are almost like the anti-tech against you.
Yeah. I love somebody getting a W with Data Vault, though. That's freaking insane.
I'm not surprised. I think Data Vault is an excellent, excellent base.
Yeah, I think it's going on my Ian won't build anymore list because of my tiny hands.
I mean, that's fair. But you've heard Trey. We've heard local players like Trey. We've talked about him just falling in love with his base for Twin Suns.
Twin Suns, yeah.
Right?
Oh, for sure.
Because it's like, well, you're already playing 80 cards. Do you really care if it's 90 cards?
No.
You probably don't.
No.
Right? All right, sideboarding complete. Both players shuffling up here as we're headed towards game 2. No Good to Me Dead probably coming in for Jango, Chad is saying, or Frozen in Carbonite. Okay, I could see it.
Yeah.
I would expect they would have had some No Good to Me Dead in the main.
That might be one of the first Jango matches I've seen in a long time that no triple Dark Raid was played.
That's true. Chad also pointing out there's a good Han 1 Data Vault in the field today here as well.
Ooh, okay.
I would like that. Han Green is a very strong deck.
Set 1 Han?
Set 1 Han, yeah. In green, that is a very strong deck in the hands of the right player. Steve happy with his hand. So looks like Chris is too. We'll be underway here in just a moment. Oh, I can put the match timer back up. There we go.
I'd like to start with initiative.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yep. Move the button where it belongs. Nope, Chris going to mulligan? Yeah, okay. Had to think about it for a minute.
Yeah.
I also like his tokens, the plus and the minus.
Oh, yeah, to say that it's used or not?
To basically say whether it's used or not. I really do like that. That's really awesome.
To remind me that I have the ability
cool.
okay.
Yeah, Steve's like, what are these for? It's like,
yeah,
I love that. The plus basically meaning, yep, it's available. Minus meaning, nope, I've used it.
Play poker?
Unless you count Velastro.
That's the one thing that gets me through plane rides when there's no Wi-Fi. That's so funny. I had never heard of it up until we went to London not too long ago, and Mike put me on. It's amazing.
Did he not pull another one again?
I don't know.
I don't see triple Dark Raid in there.
Well, it is possible the card is gone. Chat's asking if we're on Convention Center Wi-Fi. No.
No. Oh, no.
No.
Wes totally got a hotspot. If we were on convention Wi-Fi, you would not be seeing anything right now.
Ask me again later, and I'll tell you that story in between rounds. I don't want to waste time with it here as we begin game 2 with a Crafty Smuggler.
Okay, Battlefield Marine.
Wow, I feel like we're watching set 1 again, man.
Yeah, I'm loving this Rebel package.
Well, this Luke is still a Rebel. It makes total sense. I also love Chris's hand marker. That's something that I have not put in my package for the stream table yet, is for people to have cards that mark their hands. Battlefield Marine getting tapped down by Jango's ability.
Resupply.
Ooh, okay.
Going for a resupply.
Droid missile platform.
Droid missile platform coming in for Jango over here. One of the new JTL cards. Has a when defeated ability that allows it to shell out some indirect damage. Steve claims. That resupply can't be the sort of thing that Jango wants to see in this matchup. It allows Luke to keep pace with him on the flip turn.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%, Matty. Steve knows what he's doing. Steve knows what he's doing. He's hunting the Lukes, baby. I'm here for it.
Yeah, pushing base.
Yep. That's Jango's vulnerability in my mind is can he be outraced? Both players going to base here. Top of turn 3, I think. Yep, turn 3. Yep, there it was. I saw him tap 4. I was like, I bet that's a bright hope, and it is.
If I want to bounce, yeah.
He could bounce the Marine. He could.
He could for sure. He couldn't replay it, so.
He can't replay it this round, but he could replay it on his subsequent
he's
turn.
Gonna do it.
A lot of people forget that little
remember,
fun.
he gets a card too, so bouncing it and getting a card could be really important
yes.
here. He did. He decided to do it.
Yep, I love it. 2 to base from
Crafty Smuggler.
the Crafty Smuggler. Luke's going to shield up Bright Hope.
Great play.
IG coming in, doing his thing. Steve retains initiative, and we're on to the next turn. Chat was asking about standings. It is a little difficult to find standings in Melee. I believe we were talking earlier, in like last round, that it doesn't. Melee has this issue where it doesn't show standings until the day is over, or getting them in between is very difficult or something.
Yeah, it's not easy.
I apologize, gentlemen. I don't control Melee, so I can't really help you there.
The best way to look at the standings is to look at the previous round and see who won, who lost.
Yeah.
That's the only way I do it.
The best I might be able to do is, it's possible as we get later in the day, I could ask the judges to like PDF print for me the standings, and then I could maybe turn that into like a JPEG or something and show it on stream. That's probably the best I could hope for.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
I'll ask that. That is something that can be done. I was doing that in Mobile at one point for one of the PQs. Steve on the button here as we get into turn 4, excuse me. Both leaders available to enter the board this round. It's so quiet over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're both deep into this. They're both deep into this match.
It's an important match.
Both players, of course, 3-0 coming into this.
You're 3-0.
You're 3-0. Yep.
You really want to win this game.
One of you's taking your first L of the day. You just don't know who.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Now, love this play.
Yeah.
I love this play. I think he's going. I think Steve's thinking here is he's going to Fleet Lieutenant to knock off IG. I think he's looking for the 2-for-1 trade here, expecting the droid missile to have to bash itself into Bright Hope.
Okay.
Doesn't work. Does draw out the Tarkin Town. It's 6 damage, Mike. 6 damage. Okay.
Okay.
Going to ambush blue leader into the missile platform and take 3 indirect back.
Gonna put it all in the base.
Yep. All the indirect going to Steve's base.
Love blue leader. That's a really
one of the best cards out of the new set.
Yeah, nice versatile
Such
card.
a great, super versatile.
Yeah.
Such tactical flexibility with that card. It's crazy. Jango comes alive.
Yeah.
And Luke matches him.
I think I take out the Fleet Lieutenant here. Or maybe, what do you think, just push base?
I mean, he could, you mean take him out with Jango. That would basically give Luke like nowhere to dump his shield. That would save you some pain.
Yeah.
It's not a terrible play. I think Steve pushes base no matter what here. Based on how we've seen him playing this matchup so far, I think he's going to want. The other thing is, the other trick is that if Chris attacks the Fleet Lieutenant, Luke could wipe it. Luke could wipe out Jango. Just pop it
That's
like
a
a
good
balloon.
point.
So it's a difficult. This is a tough call for Steve. I'm sorry, for Chris. Trying to figure out where do we go here. Chris still has all his resources available, but we're going somewhere. We're going sneak attack, War Jug. With Jango on the board, that's going to be brutal. It's going to tap down the Luke.
Here.
He's going to lose the Jug, but he's going to get really good value out of it this turn.
I'm deciding if that's still.
Sure.
So that is a 1, 2, 3, 4. That is a 7, 8 now. 8 plus 5 for the War Juggernaut.
8 damage to base.
Yep, 8 to
Ooh.
base.
So brutal.
We'll go
And this is why Jango is so
Yeah.
gross.
8 and 17. Right.
– 17 damage on for Steve now.
3 more damage to base.
3 more.
And then I'm going to trade with the Fleet Lieutenant.
And then get rid of the Fleet Lieutenant. 9 HP lead here for Chris. Really, really good turn for him.
That was a nice swing turn.
Yep. He drew into a P38, and it looks like a DL44. I didn't see what Steve came up with there. Chat asking if there are cards in Unlimited that can bounce cards to hand. Yes, there are.
Yeah.
Many. Many. They're predominantly yellow cards. In fact, now that I think about it, I'm not sure any other aspect gets that at all. I'd have to think about it.
No, I think that's just.
I think it's
Just
just yellow.
cunning.
I think it's just yellow.
Yeah. Ewing reinforcement right now would be a great play.
Yep, going to trade. Oh, no, sorry. Jango only took 1. My apologies.
Yeah.
Okay. Luke smashes into Jango. Wondering what Steve is sitting on here that he's choosing to attack and give up that free shield. Whatever it is, it must be. Yep. Chris pushing base damage here, coming in with the DL44. 5 more in.
Ooh,
Kanan.
okay.
Solid pull. Chris taking his time here. Well ahead in this game. Huge lead on HP.
Huge.
Definitely has Steve on the back foot. Wants to make sure he doesn't make a misstep and let this get away from him. I think he just took the initiative.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Sabine's masterpiece.
That's fine.
Okay.
Just making sure I know where it goes. And then we get an SMP from the left side of the board. 8 HP remaining. Is he sitting on a surprise strike?
Ooh, yeah, if he is, that's...
Strike is the game here.
Yeah.
Might be it. Let's see if he's got it. It looks like he does. I could have sworn I just saw him shuffle past it. Nope.
Yep, there it is.
7 damage to base.
Yep.
Nope. It's a breaking in, actually.
Oh, so he's one
He's
shy.
close. He's 1 shy.
Oh, and he's going to get some healing this round, though, because Kanan's going to heal.
Kanan's going to be able to
and
heal.
Sabine's going to heal.
We're going to have to see if he can get past the healing. Hang on a minute. I got to find this stinking card. Here we go.
32.
There we go.
Good base.
So there's a breaking in. 1 damage left for Steve, hanging on by his fingernails. 1 HP left on his base.
Daring raid for the victory.
I mean, you laugh. That's not a terrible.
not a
it's
play.
terrible card for
And
Jango.
it's a card that could definitely be in that
all the
deck.
all the pinging you do. Like, why wouldn't you do it? It's not a bad card.
I think I attack with either Kanan or Sabine right now to get that heal back to take me out of
take you
daring
out of that
range raid.
possibility.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not what he's doing. We're doing something else.
Skywalker.
Nope. Redemption.
Ooh.
Big redemption on the 8 resource round. So we're going to move at least. Well, let's see how many he's going to move over.
I'd
8.
Move all 8.
He probably will.
7.
He's moving over 7. So the ping won't kill it.
Yeah.
All right. So that just negates the breaking in play that Chris just made.
And he's going to get more healing.
I was going to say, he still has the Kanan restore and the Sabine's tie restore, and Luke's still on the board.
Skywalker so he could take off Jango out, but I think Redemption was a much better play.
Redemption's an excellent play here. He can even shield it with Luke in a minute.
Yeah. He's got a lot of options
He's
now
got a
to
lot of
pull
really
back
good
into this
got
game.
a really good tactical options.
Oh, here we go.
TDR. He's got a lot of ground to make up, but it's not completely out of reach. This could be a big TDR for Chris. He desperately needs a War Jug.
Juggernaut.
He needs a Juggernaut to tap down Steve's entire board right here. I don't think he's got it.
If he had it, he would have thrown it on him.
Oh, you know what else would do it?
Right
IG-2000 would do it too. There's only 3 units. He could tap them all.
Ooh, yeah.
That would do it as well. It is. It's the IG-2000.
Yeah.
All right. Move and counter move, ladies and gentlemen. Quite the boxing match going on here in Game 2. Now it's a question of where Chris decides to send his damage. 1 to Redemption. He's at 7. 1 will not kill it. That was a very deliberate move by Steve.
1 to each of them and exhaust them.
There we go. So IG-2000 to exhaust the board.
Yeah.
Did Steve just claim?
Yeah, he didn't have a choice.
1 overwhelm.
Yep.
Okay, so, yep, 1 overwhelm gets through from the IG-2000 trade.
And then I will
Initiative change.
There we go. Chris's first triple dark raid.
Yep.
And it was a really good one.
Very well timed for that one. Good pull out of it with that IG-2000. Steve on the button as we head into the next turn. That redemption timing was exquisite.
Exquisite, yeah.
We don't know, Chris. Chat asking if Steve's running Rebel Assault.
Don't know.
We don't know. So policy on deck lists here, ladies and gentlemen, is because the players at the table don't have the deck list. I will not look at the deck list. I will not look at the sideboard. All of that is information the players are not supposed to have, and so we don't want to have it either because people could watch this stream later on, and that would compromise the integrity of the event, and we don't want that to happen. 8 more. Is it another one? Ooh, home one, and now every unit on the board now has home one. And this is a brutal play.
Jango.
I love this.
And he's got to discard cards to heal.
This is brilliant.
He's got 1 restore from home 1.
So we're coming in with home 1. We're fishing a Fleet Lieutenant out of the discard pile. We're smashing Jango off the board with Kanan. It's a straight trade.
He can't exhaust anything.
Kanan's going to discard some cards off the top. Then we're going to heal. I didn't see how many. I think it was only 1. I think he only healed 1. He's got 23 damage on his base. Oh, because home 1 grants restore, he restored 3 total out of the play.
Devastator.
Oh,
Big Devastator coming in. Big punches here now as we get into the late game. 4 Indirect coming in. He lost a TDR off the top. That's what we missed.
Oh,
that's a big
that's
lose.
A huge loss.
That's a big lose.
Sabine's masterpiece and 2 damage to Luke Skywalker.
Okay, 2 to Luke and 2 to Sabine clears those off the board.
Yeah. You got to claim here.
Not ideal, but I think, if I'm Steve, I think I claim right here. Hold on a minute. Sabine's masterpiece needs to discard 2 cards. Because they're. Oh, that's right. Sabine is a Spectre. He had to discard 2 cards. Call the ambulance.
Oh,
but
yeah.
not for Steve. Hold on. might. It's probably, if they've already drawn, it's probably too late.
It's too late, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's too late now. But we are where we are. All right, so what did we do? We traded in.
And restored 1.
We traded home 1 for Devastator and restored 1.
Cargo Juggernaut.
All right.
Do 1 damage here.
He's not using Jango here.
I'll say this, though.
What a hell of a game this is.
This deck is very impressive against Jango.
Yeah. What a hell of a game this is. Steve's holding his own, but he hasn't done damage to the base in so long. Yes, that's right. It was Restore 2. Restore 2 off a home 1. Thank you.
I'm guessing I probably fucked something up, but.
Yeah, you had 2 Spectres out when you swung with Kanan. I believe you only milled 1 card instead of 2.
Okay.
No big deal. Probably can't fix it now. I think at this point it's too late, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure because Chris has already drawn. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to do, but we'll let them figure that out. One of the things that
okay, but remember they wanted us to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Relax.
Okay.
One of the things we've been asked to do is when there's a judge call like this to kind of let them do their thing. We can still see the game. I don't think it's made a significant difference here, but it's probably too late. Okay. All right. So a brief interruption in play, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with chat. I think it's.
It could make a huge difference in this game.
I'm not convinced it's going to make a huge difference. The trick is that if they had caught it before Chris had already drawn cards, they could just flip 1 more off and it would have been the same. But because Chris drew and resourced, I think it's walking that back becomes basically impossible. Yeah. The good news is these guys have a few extra minutes. The timer you're seeing in the bottom right does not. Actually, no, I started this one when they started.
Yeah, but remember they give them like 4 or 5 extra minutes.
They'll usually give them a few extra minutes. We'll see. So, for a moment, we're going to come back here, guys.
And Steve's smartly taking a restroom break.
Yeah, we can see what's going on. You're not missing any action right now. Oh, I should turn the lights on. There we go.
Oh.
Hey-o. You're not missing any missing any action right now. In a moment, when the game is back on, we'll cut back over there. Trust me. We can see it. You can't. It's fine.
Yeah.
What a hell of a game. What a hell of a match this has been.
This was a great one to pick.
I'm not going to lie. When I would not have known Steve's name on a list from Adam. I just saw the matchup and went, I want to cast that. That looks really good.
That looks fun.
And when he sat down, I went, oh, we hit the jackpot, baby. Let's go. Because I knew he'd been working on this deck.
Yeah.
And I wanted to have him on stream at some point today, so we got very, very fortunate here.
Everybody uses handles and stuff online, so it's hard to figure out who they are when
you
see their real name.
It definitely can be. That is 100% a thing. Yeah, there's like 3 judges standing by this table, guys. Don't worry about it. I'm not sure why he left. He's back now. I believe we're going to get back underway here. I'm going to make sure. They're still chatting. I'm going to make sure that whatever happens here. So we're just letting them. The judges have specifically asked us when they have
pull away.
When they have to interrupt play to make a ruling like this to cut away and let them handle it, and then we will go back when the game recommences.
Yeah, consider it like a bad NFL injury.
Yeah. No, not really, Zach. It's not so much rules lawyering as it's just making sure that we're getting it correct. And here's the other thing. It's something that both players at the tables missed. The only reason that we brought it up is because we caught it on camera.
Yeah.
Right? You guys noticed it, and so we have been asked to pass that information on to the judge staff, which we did, and now they are working on resolving whatever the situation, how it resolves. I'll be honest, I don't think they can undo it.
Well, they can't undo it, but imagine if that top card was the Devastator. And then he played it next.
Who knows, man?
So,
But, Dallas, the trick is that he did trigger it. He did mill 1 card.
Yeah.
The trick is that there were supposed to have milled 2 because there were 2 Spectres in play. Chat pointing out that Kanan's not played commonly enough with other Spectres that this frequently is not a problem.
Yeah.
And you're right. You're 100% right.
1,000%.
It's another one of these little weird interactions that sometimes trigger. I mean, you guys, we are where we are, okay?
Yeah. Be interesting to see what happens?
We're gonna let them resolve it and get on with our day. It's not the beauty of this is I'm here as the caster. The judging is not my problem.
No.
I am a spectator at this event as much as anybody else, and 100%. I'm here for it. Chat compliments him. Chat likes my polo.
Nice.
I like this polo.
What about the yellow one? We don't love the yellow one?
I don't know. Do you guys like the cunning? I mean, it's hard to because of where this monitor's positioned, it's a little hard to make out the cunning embroidery. But thank you. This was an idea that I had for this sort of thing a long time ago. My wife owns all of this embroidery and sewing machine gear, and I said, you know, we could digitize the logos and embroider them on shirts, right? She goes, oh yeah. I'm like, I know what I'm doing. I know.
And
that is money well spent.
Too,
she loves doing that kind of stuff. She loves doing that kind of stuff. She is a creator,
Last night she
a creative
talked
type.
a whole lot about buying a new sewing machine.
Don't get me started. It's not a sewing machine. It's an embroidery
look around
machine.
Right now. You have no right to say no, bro.
Oh, God, you're not wrong. You're killing me. You're killing me. Don't. Yeah. Don't, man. I get the impression that the end result of this is going to be no change. Watching everybody's facial expressions.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going back to the game now. They have resumed.
Is it too late for that?
Yeah, we should ask because
Uh-oh. Maybe not.
It's fine.
Yep. So sorry, go ahead and ask. What's going on?
So after.
Okay, we're getting another judge ruling. I'm going to mute them again. Let them figure it out.
We got a thank you from the judges for calling out that play.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Chat's like, everybody in the chat gets a warning. You're all out. Okay, looks like we're back to normal here. We're moving on.
Yeah. All right,
All right, so where we were before the interruption was we had the War Juggernaut come in, and then the judges got there. We had our discussion. We are back to the game now. Battlefield Marine.
Just a solid play. Solid card.
He did use the Jango. The kind of interruption occurred before he used Jango's ability to tap down the Fleet Lieutenant, which has been done now. No, I can't sell these polos. That doesn't work because I don't own the copyrights or any of the licensing for the logos.
The logo, yeah.
So I can make them and give them all away. Oh, Game Vision coming in. Oh, the memes, ladies and gentlemen. I can make all the giveaways that I want, but I can't sell them.
They just announced for us to put our match results in
You're
melee.
okay. Don't worry.
What happened? You played that. I'm going to take the initiative.
Shielding.
We're going to shield something. Plenty of resources available. We're going to shield the Ark. Love it. Nope.
Sorry,
Rethinking.
Yes, fine. Sorry about that.
No, don't worry about it. You have one card in the hand?
I have one card in here.
Give a shield to that.
Okay, he is going to shield now. More to play. 3 more resources. Another Fleet Lieutenant just to get a body on the board.
Yeah.
Trying to go as wide as possible here. He's already seen 2 Juggernauts go by. Chris took the initiative. There we go. Get that fixed.
Is Chris at 9 resources?
1,
Is that
2,
what I saw him count
3,
out?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, sir. 9 resources.
3 to base.
Okay, 3 to base.
So many damaged units out there.
Yep, that Jug just is loving it. Village Protectors. What is this shenanigans?
What a great play, Steve.
Oh, what an amazing card to
freaking
get on the ground before that
that
Juggernaut swings in, too. What a great card.
Juggernaut?
Oh, I played that on the wrong side of the screen. I'm sorry about that. That card actually played over
Another
here.
one?
A bloody another one. Oh, my goodness.
Okay, but he's only going to be able to exhaust 1
Right.
unit.
I'm going to do 1 damage to everything on your side of the board for starters.
Okay, so all of Steve's units will take a ping.
Go ahead and exhaust this Fleet Lieutenant with Jango.
Okay.
Well, I guess technically I need to finish deciding on my damage.
Don't worry about it.
I'm going to put a damage there.
He's going to make these things just gigantic.
Yeah, these War Juggernauts are going to be absolutely massive. The ready one is already at.
If I'm Steve, I put
4,
a shield
5,
right
6,
back
7.
on it. I'm putting a shield right back on it. Yeah, he's gonna
Which
do
he
it.
can.
Put it right back on there.
Yep, he absolutely
Why not?
can. I think those are 7/7 juggernauts, if my math is correct.
1, 2, 3, 4 damaged units.
Luke places another shield back on the village protector that had it bounced off. God, what a match.
Yeah, and the way that Chris has been, or Steve's been able to hold in, he's really got to get some damage on base this round, though.
Yeah, Steve is basically, for the last 20 minutes, he's been playing not to
Three
lose.
indirect. Man, he's just pinging,
Yep,
pinging, pinging.
Guerrilla Soldier.
So you got to put one on Fleet Lieutenant, one on Arc.
If it goes on the base,
If any goes on the base, he gets to ready.
If any goes on the base, he can ready this. So
you're going to lose the Fleet Lieutenant here.
No, he can put it on the protector and under the shield.
Under the shield?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
100%
right.
100% legit. Just spread it out. Yep.
Yeah.
There we go.
Who cares how much health it has? It's Sentinel with a shield.
Steve's action. Jango's space units exhausted because that was the very first action of the round. He attacked with the P-38 for his very first action.
Anybody in the stream watching this right now is thinking, man, I want a copy of Steve's deck. I'm thinking that right now.
Luke Data Vault, ladies and gentlemen. Who knew? All right, Fleet
Yeah.
Lieutenant's going to smash something. What are we smashing?
I think you smash a War Juggernaut. You can do they have 7 or 6 health?
They have 7 HP.
7.
He's going to smash the exhausted War Jug with one of the Fleet Lieutenants.
3 damage.
Yep.
Smash the shield.
Yep. Smash the shield off and take 2 back from the little. But the problem is not necessarily this turn. The problem is next turn because then
Yeah.
Steve's going to have both of these things ready.
He's playing 4.
He's got to get rid of at least one of them.
There we go.
What do we got? We're going to takedown? Okay.
I will take the initiative.
Chris holds on to the initiative.
He's going to kill the Gorilla.
Trade out with the Gorilla. Get that off the board. And he still has the ready arc, which has got a little
And
restore on it if he
2
wants.
resources. So let's restore. Don't take the ping.
He's going 2 to base, it looks
Yeah.
like. I think that's what I would do in his shoes.
Card in hand.
I'll go there. Restore 1.
2 to base and restore 1.
Pass.
Chris
Okay.
has
There you go.
lethal on board, right? Chris is 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's an 8/7 Juggernaut with 3
between
damage
that
on it.
and
So
the P.
between that and the P-38, he absolutely has lethal in 2 swings here. And with the initiative, he's 100% going to get that
Oh,
first
no, he
action.
doesn't. The Village Protector.
Oh, you're correct. The
Oh,
Sentinel.
there he goes. He got it.
Okay.
Yeah, he
So
traded
they're going
off.
to trade and then
He got
use
the
the
Village
ping to kill
Protector.
there we go. There we go. Kill the
Here
Sentinel.
we go. What's his counter? Luke.
It's a
Luke!
Oh. The big Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight
what a
walks
great
out.
play.
And now finally, Chris is out of War Juggernauts.
And now Steve is really in the driver's seat.
Well, we're going to have to see what Chris has got left in his hand. But getting
out of War
all out of
Juggernauts.
Juggernauts, out of Devastator,
of-
down 2 DDRs.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a Pride in his hand in 2 events. Chris might finally be out of gas in this game. Chat seeming to agree. We don't know yet. It's too early to call.
Waylay Luke Skywalker.
Going to waylay the Luke.
Save some damage for a minute.
Yep. Buys
And
him
the
another round.
restore.
Buys him another round and
Okay.
skips the restore to try to find
3
an
to
answer.
base.
Mm-hmm.
So we're finally pushing damage.
Bazine.
Ooh, okay. Maybe discard the Luke. Yeah, discard the Luke. That's
Now that
not
is
even a question.
that is a great play.
Draw.
Bounce it, and murder it.
Concord.
3 for a Conquered Dawn.
Legion General Pride.
Ooh, okay. Indirect damage on attack.
1 card in hand.
1 card in hand.
I think Steve's going to claim here.
I would claim in his shoes.
I don't know
wanna
if I'm putting a shield on something.
I mean, he could shield up something. The shield won't do him any good against the indirect.
Yes.
He does claim. You kind of got to claim and hope you draw into something. Your deck feeds you something worth having, right?
Yeah.
starting to get low on time. There's no way these guys are going to get a game 3 in. Trade out with Bazine. Sorry. With General Pride. Trade out with General Pride. My apologies. Blaster coming out of Reese, coming out of the resource row.
Any way you can, Chris.
Punch in anything you can get. 3 to base. It's not sexy, but it is damage. 26 on. Steve's been holding around with 7 to 10 health for a long time.
Like Steve can pop out anything at any moment. He's playing something small.
2 for covering the wing.
Okay.
I'm not sure why that X-Wing token is ready. I think that's an error. It's large. It's in charge. It is Rivals fall on Sabine.
Okay.
I'm sorry, on Bazine. Excuse me. I'll get it right.
Claim.
Another crafty smuggler.
That's a fast
and then a claim
by Steve.
Well, he was out of cards.
Oh,
his last card was Rivals Fall, the last card in his hand. Steve's fighting tooth and nail to stay in this game. He's going to come in with a takedown for one of these smugglers. Never the kind of thing you want to be blowing a takedown on, but here we are. He's just, I think at this point, he's looking at his deck going, feed me something decent, you know?
Yeah. I'm wondering if Chris has more Devastators in his deck. I think I see a Ruthless Raider in his hand.
He does appear to have at least a Raider, yes. Chat asking if they're going to get a time extension because of the judge call. I'm expecting that they will.
So they get 4 extra minutes for being on stream. So they got at least 8 minutes left.
No. Yeah, and I'm expecting they will get
a few extra minutes.
For the judge call as well. 28. There we go.
2 damage here. 2 damage to your base.
There we go. 2 and 2. Down to 3 health is Steve. Three HP remaining. He's played a brilliant game, but man, this Jango deck just seems to keep finding the right card at the right moment. Chris playing masterfully here.
Really? And then I'll pass.
Okay.
Steve desperately needs a Bright Hope here.
Yes, that would be a good play.
That would at least buy him a little more time.
They bounced the Concord, so he could throw that back.
Oh,
out.
he does. He's got the Concord.
Yeah,
that would.
They bounced it.
He does have a Bright Hope.
Bright Hope.
Okay.
Oh, Devastator. Yeah, that was
there it is. Yep. Devastator seals the deal.
Wow, Steve, that was impressive.
Oh my goodness, what a game by Steve! But Chris claims game 2 here. I can't believe Steve hung in that game that long. Look how hard he had to make Jango work for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dear God, now I have to hit the head. We've been sitting here so long, I got to hit the head. No, we'll be okay.
You've got 8.5 minutes.
That's it? Why, they just call time?
Right, yes. Yeah, we've got 8.5 minutes.
Yeah, you guys, that second game was a slog. You took a long, it was a long game.
How did we only get an 8.5 minute extension for all of that? Plus the start. We got a time.
So we'll let them chat about that for a minute.
They're trying to get some extra time.
They're trying to get a little extra time. It's all right. We'll let the judges work it out. I'm staying out of it. That's not my job.
Yeah.
So I tell you what we'll do, guys. For right now, I'm not gonna worry about the timer. When the judges call time, that's when the time's ending.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the timer. I'm not keeping the timer for this one. I mostly keep that on stream
Steve's
just
deck
for folks
isn't fast enough to win an 8-minute game.
I don't think it is fast enough to win an 8-minute game.
So what happens if they're one apiece and this game doesn't finish?
That becomes a draw.
A draw.
They both move to 3-0-1. They each earn a point for the draw, but will not earn any points for a win. All right.
Good luck, sir.
See how far they get, ladies and gentlemen. And again, the timer's off. I have no idea when the judges are going to call time. We're just going to call this game until it ends.
Who gets this?
I do.
Sorry.
Well, there's already been some time extension, right? Chad asking why, they should have get something for the judge the time lost the judge ruling, and that's reasonable. And we know they already get some extra time because the timer frequently begins before these guys get up and move over to the stream table.
Yeah.
So they already have some extra time built in, no matter what.
Can you set up like a clock or something, or give us some?
Because I don't know what it is, I don't want that timer on screen. I'm going to let somebody else manage it.
Steve, last name?
Baroni, please.
I'm ready.
All right, kicking off with a Marine.
I'll play.
Yes.
And this is crafty.
Have we seen Chris use his Tarkin Town?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Quite often. He killed a Bright Hope with it, I think, in both games.
Yeah, in both games.
I think in both games he's used it to murder Bright Hope. Steve going to have to do something possibly a little uncomfortable for him in this matchup, and that's just push base damage as quickly as possible. I'm not sure his deck is really built for that. It doesn't feel like it.
I mean, if he can play a resupply here, no.
Nope, going covering the wing to shield the Marine and add and generate an X-Wing token.
Damage there. It's not.
You're exhausting?
8 to
Oh,
15.
yeah. I'm sorry.
No worries.
I'll give it a shield.
P38.
I'll take the initiative.
Pass.
Chris taking initiative.
You didn't play this.
Can I give that a shield on? Sorry, when I do.
So this was the same question that chat was asking earlier.
Yeah.
We were asking, right?
You played this phase? This was not played.
Okay.
It was generated.
Then he should be able to pull back and take initiative then.
So nothing changes, right? It just doesn't get the shield. Oh, I can't.
You could claim instead, Steve.
This thing.
He might be able to. Yeah, because it generates the token.
Create, not played.
Yeah.
This unit is created, not played, so it can't be given a shield from you.
Okay, so I can't give him a shield.
Correct. That's
So
correct.
can I claim then?
Instead of playing this card?
Instead of using Luke's ability.
He played that card, did 1 damage to that. I went to give him a shield. He claimed. We realized I can't give him a shield. So if we back it up so I don't give him the shield, it would be my action, so I could claim.
Right.
Yes.
In this case,
We accidentally took another action after.
I'm going to mute this and let them figure it out.
Let them figure it out. But the last thing they need is more delays right now.
I know.
This is going into a draw,
unfortunately,
for maybe Chris.
It's going to end up drawing out. A Tarkin Town to the X-Wing. Okay. Steve does end up with initiative because the X-Wing, because Chris uses Tarkin Town to knock off the X-Wing.
I'll go 3 to your base.
All right. 3 to base. 3 to base. The ruling does matter, but we have been asked by the judge staff to be very cognizant of when that occurs and give them the opportunity to work without interference.
That works, right?
Yes.
Triple Dark Raid. Here we go.
All right, first TDR of the game coming in here for Chris. Let's see what he lands on.
Kylo's tie.
Carlos tie. 1 damage to each of them.
All right, we're looking at IG then to ping the shields off.
I think I kill Sabine's masterpiece.
Run through her.
He can kill, and not, I mean, he's going back to his hand anyway, so the damage doesn't matter. He's definitely trying to keep the orbitals clear this game. He kind of lost control of space for a while in one of the earlier matches.
Three to your base.
3 to base. That Marine's been putting in good work this game.
Gorilla Soldier, 3 indirect damage.
Okay, there's the gorilla. Okay, when any of it goes to the base, he gets to ready for free. Bright Hope, yep. Good time for that card to come up for Steve.
2 to your base.
He's also got the resource. He's also got the resource to shield it now.
2 to your base.
Little tiny ground pings are definitely starting to add up, though. 14 damage on. I'm a little off. 33 minus 14 should be 19. There we go. Jango flips and swings in for 3 more.
Breaking in.
Ooh.
5. Big 5 spot with that breaking in.
Yeah.
Well timed. All right. Steve now at 22 damage on. Only 11 HP remaining here. Chris going wide, pushing damage as quickly as he possibly can. Trying to get a full win here. Marine going to trade. Or sorry, Marine going to get rid of this Gorilla Soldier. Okay, I keep forgetting we've had a lot of people join. They're complaining about how I'm counting damage now.
Oh.
I do that, again, guys, I do that visually so that when you join the middle of the game, you know exactly how it works.
Yeah.
You know exactly where everybody stands. Remember that the game state on the table is managed by the players and is always going to overrule anything you see on the overlays, okay?
Yeah.
The overlays are there for convenience, so you get a quick view of what's going on when you join the stream.
We're at 25 damage to base now.
Correct. He's got 8 HP remaining.
Okay.
He's going to knock out the P-38. He's got 1 damage to deal. He's going to deal it to Bright Hope. I'm just going to stop arguing with people about how I want to manage my overlays. It's like I'm trying to convey information visually to people who are joining in the middle of the game. It's much easier to do it my way because you never know how much health a person's base is worth.
Wes, we got like 8 more hours of this. You can't let them get to you, bro.
Oh, my God. You're killing me. Okay. We can have this argument later.
So you finish the current round, then you have 1 more action phase to attempt to destroy.
Okay, so they've just called time on these guys, so they're going to finish this turn, and they're going to get 1 more turn. There's a Raider.
To your base. And we'll do 2 here.
All right, Luke's going to deploy here. Oh, he's thinking about, no, he's going to shield something with Luke before he puts Luke out. Yep, going to shield Kanan up. Why not? Chris is going to take initiative. We're going to put Luke on the board.
At 29.
Yep, he's only got 4 health remaining here. Without getting an attack out of Kanan, he's got no way to restore.
40 base.
Going to push 4 to base with Luke.
Give Bright Hope the shield.
Give Bright Hope the shield. He's covered in the orbitals, but if Chris is sitting on something as simple as a surprise strike, the game is over.
Yeah.
Doesn't look, I'm not seeing it. No, he doesn't have it in his hand. So if he's going to win, he's going to find another. He's going to win straight up and not settle for the draw. They're going to have to find another way. He's going to have to find another way to push 4 damage through. Some damage off there. There we go. Ugh, more Jango shenanigans.
Damage here and exhaust.
Good game.
Steve's just going to scoop it.
Steve's just good.
Steve's just going to scoop it up. Man.
Wow.
Brilliant, brilliant match going all the way to time,
Yeah.
all the way down to the last round. Steve's just going to let him have it.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
rough.
it's definitely the sportsmanlike play, but man, what a hell of a match that was.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So with that in the books, we're going to have a very, very, very short break. We're going to come back to this. We're going to come back to the studio real fast. All right, so let's come back to here real briefly.